Hello there, my name's Vince and welcome to another Advent repair. So in this video today we're going to be looking at this window vac, similar to a Karcher, but this version is only about 20 to 30 pounds on Amazon. Now interestingly, it's got a fault that plagues loads of them because I've been looking up the reviews about this, and that is where when you press this button it makes a little noise for half a second and then you have the flashing blue light. And interestingly, it says here, if the max line is exceeded, the indicator light will begin to flash rapidly. The unit will switch off and liquid will leak through the vents. And basically, the max line is all the way down here, so you can only collect a tiny little bit of liquid. So if you were doing your shower screen or condensation on a window or on your car, you've got to make sure you keep emptying it out very quickly because there's not much storage here at all. And if you were to do it horizontally, that will leak out. You can't. It says here you can only do it vertically. So I think the fault with this one is that for some reason it thinks that the max line has been exceeded. So it might be quite interesting. When we go to charge it, I'm not sure in this instance if it's a battery problem because it's showing as a full charge. And I left it in for about 45 minutes earlier. It should be flashing. When it's solid like this, it means the battery is fully charged. So I think it should be an interesting one to find out what is plaguing these and are they going to be fixable. People say that when it works, it actually works quite well. And the charger is supposed to be 5 volts and it certainly is 5 volts. So it's got nothing to do with a faulty charger. Let's bring it over to the mat, see if we can fix it. Okay, let's try to take this apart. So it looks like we have crosshead screws all around here. So hopefully it should be nice and easy to get into. Thanks for all the comments that came in on the impact driver. I gave completely the wrong information, which is often the case. I said it's like a hammer drill that turns and punches. Apparently it's not. An impact driver, what it does is it doesn't punch, it rotates around. So you know, like a normal screwdriver would do this, or this must do this and then like whack itself round. So it kind of hammers, but in a rotary motion rather than a punching motion like that. Apologies, I never knew. But as I always say, you'll learn more from my comments section than you will in the video. But at least the video gives it a platform for the right information to be down in the comments. Some people be like, why don't you learn before doing these products? Well, I do so many products, then I'm not going to spend a day learning about each product before doing it. So, but often you learn a lot more after the event than before the event. Of course, it would be possible to do all your learning before, and I'm sure the video would be much more informative. But then you'd probably only do one video a week. So like this thing now, I don't know anything about it, but hopefully in an hour's time, I will have, I'll understand it a lot more. So a major downside of this is the fact that you can't use it horizontally. Because think about now, you've got a windowsill, yeah? You're working your way down the windowsill and then you can't get the last part of the window because you can't go horizontally on it. So we can get a little blade to cut through that, or do you reckon I can peel it? Let's see if I can peel it. Yeah, I'll peel it instead. Take the whole thing off. I just want it to come apart there. Oh, there's screws at the bottom as well. Right, they're 2 smaller screws. Right, well, 10 out of 10 for being able to come apart. I can already see some sort of grime here. So, yeah, liquid's definitely gone out over that. One more screw here. And that's the big one, like all the 7 others. Now, you're going to come apart. Yes, you are. Ah, I can see rust all over that motor. So, has the motor seized? We've got a massive 18650 here, 2000 milliamp hours apparently. And we got a little board. That's where you charge it up from. Oh, nice. It's got a little O-ring there to stop water from coming in through there onto the board. The board all looks clean. So basically, it's the motor itself which has got the water. Let's see what voltage we have on here. So I think this is the positive side. Hopefully it's full. Excellent, 4 volts, so it really is full. I'm going to say that it's a motor problem, because the thing is, where is the sensor anyway? I mean, is that sound just a motor trying to turn? It has to be. Where else can the sound come from? I'm just going to see if I can feel vibrations. So what's happened is, I think water's got in here and this is seized up. Just wait until that goes off. Right, ready? And I can't really feel any vibrations. Right, so somehow we have to try to take apart this here. Easy. So now, this turns here, look at that. Well, that's free to turn. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Why don't we just try to turn, oh yeah, there we go. That's pretty stiff. That's very stiff. That should be spinning really freely, shouldn't it? Right, so we have a seized motor. Can we unseize it? Let's see if it's got any better now. No. Right, so we're going to take this out. Yeah, this is all rubber here. Around here, that's all rubber. You know, for the money, it doesn't seem too bad. It's just a limitation of not being able to do it horizontally. I mean, I don't know, why would they design that? I get it if you're doing a car window, it doesn't really matter, does it? But in a house, a shower screen, everything, most of the time you have to go near the floor. Well, should we see if we can take this off? I have to open up the motor, you see, to try to get it moving nicely. Oh god, that feels like it's going to break. So this is the thing which is causing the, this is the fan, isn't it? This is causing the suction. 3.6 volts DC. 28th week of the 9th, I think 23, so it's not old at all. Yeah, so just over a year old. I wonder, hold on. Mind you, that's going to be sealed up there. I wonder, can I just take it all apart from this side? Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's not take any more of that apart, because I can tap that back down with a hammer. Let's see if we can take it apart from here. We might be able to pull it out. We might be able to clean it just as well. Because I can't get to it from the other side anyway. I just wanted to see if it was like rusty where it went there, but I don't actually need to. Here we go. Yes, the perfect tool. Brilliant. Well, they're massive. Look at the brushes on that. That's lovely. Do you know, I'm more used to kind of little motors in toys when I see this sort of motor, but I wasn't expecting that at all. I was expecting some, you know, just tiny little fingers. That's huge. That's lovely, that. They're absolutely massive. Brilliant. Well, they all look okay, that end. So it's this side we have to worry about. Annoyingly, I think I am going to have to take this shaft off, because I need this to start turning freely, and it's clearly must have rust on the inside. So I presume all of the ones on Amazon, again, have probably been used horizontally, which you would do when you're cleaning a window. You know, you're going to go up and down and you're going to do a little bit horizontal. I think they've all got rusty motors. Worried about bending the shaft as well. Do you know what? I did buy pullers ages ago. Maybe I should use these. Maybe I should use the pullers. See if it comes out. I can't remember who told me about these. I'm going to say Marcel, but I'm not 100% sure. They're bicycle parts. They're tyre pullers or something. Let's see if I can lever this up. Oh my word. Oh, come on. How easy. Leverage for you. Unbelievable, that came off so easy. Yeah, look at this, it's all nicely rusted. Can't believe I was struggling so much with the pliers, they popped off so easy with that. Right, let's take this off. So, I wonder, is this rubber cap helping or hindering? I suppose the thing is, water's just sat on there, isn't it? So maybe, I'm wondering if, let's have a think about this. You know what, if this was to fail, as in, sorry, if it filled up with too much water and water came out of this here, out of these bits, yeah, these holes here, and then went down into it, I think this would be better to be left upside down, because then the water's going to probably, you know, come out of the top rather than coming down to the motor probably. Because if you keep it vertical, sat up, which you're going to do, the water that's on here is just going to sit on here, and I presume seize it up, just like it has done. Let's see if I can take this out. No. Will I not be able to whack that out of there or not? Or do I have to try to clean it? Not sure if it's going to go past these splines or not. Let's give it a little tap and see. Yes, it's out. Boom. Bingo. Right. So this bearing here has seized completely. Is that an actual bearing? Should that be turning? Yes, it should. Right, yeah, it's turning much easier now. Or is it turning on its shaft? I think we need to clean it up because I don't know if this should be turning on its shaft or not. Maybe it is just doing that. That's not going to be a little ball race, is it? I think that would probably work now. The only thing is I don't think that's going to be pressed into here anymore, is it? In fact, it's not going to be. Really, I could do with that being pulled off. Which is not going to happen. Yes, it's coming. There we go. Right, I think we're going to clean all this. I'm just going to pop some gloves on. So this little board here, which we'll zoom into, must recognise when the motor is straining and cut power, which is quite clever. I can't see any markings on that chip at all. Anything on the other side? No. So is that one there doing the charging and also, for example, you know, like knowing when to cut power and the LED flashing light and everything? I think it must be. Okay, that all looks very clean though. I'm curious as to why it's filling with water. Because this should be, you know, I thought that should be waterproof here. Do you know what? Should I fill it with water to see where it's leaking from? Because the only place I can see it must be coming through is... It must be... When it goes up through these holes... Because this is the max line here. So where's it pouring out of? So that's the max line, but really the max line is this one here, isn't it? The one that's about a centimetre above it. I think when it goes over that, it ends up coming down through maybe the middle, and that's when it comes down through here. And I suppose it drips along here, and then it makes its way, and it just sits here. I don't really know how would they solve that? So the motor is going to be up in there like so. So they need, there's a semicircle that side, but the thing is this side it's square. So if they were to make that, now mind you, this is square. This is square. I wonder if they were to silicone that, if they were to put a load of silicone in here and put that on here, so this is for the silicone, I wonder would that be enough to stop it going through? Or is it still going to sit on this bit? It's still going to sit on this bit here. Do you know what? It's still going to sit on that bearing there, isn't it? No matter what, because that's open there. I don't know how they would seal that. They'd have to have that a much smaller hole. So just the shafts going through, and then maybe have like a couple of rubber washers here or something pressed up against it to make maybe a better seal. But I think it's still going to work its way in. It'd be interesting to see how the casters do it. I'm just going to fill this with water just to see. Right, so I think what happens is, do you see these holes here? They do leak it down the middle. Yeah, and then it just comes out the bottom. So you can see, even though we're well above the max line now, there isn't a huge amount of leakage when we're like that. But every time we move it like this, as soon as we go near those holes, water's going to come out the bottom. So if we were to go horizontal, can you see all the water? No, you can't see. Hopefully you can see that dripping there. And that's coming out of this bottom part here. Yeah, so to be fair, it is fine when you have it at the max, it doesn't leak. And you can actually go quite horizontal before it starts leaking. Even when you're at the max, even if you go, even at the max, when you go horizontal, there doesn't appear to be much coming out. It's just if you were to shake it like that, some will come out. There you go. Yeah, okay. So it is user error then, isn't it? But at the same time, it's a bit silly to design something that can't go horizontal when the user will want to make it go horizontal. I'm just going to try to get this annoying fluff. There's an annoying black mess in here. I'm just going to run that under the tap to see if I can sort that out. Okay, well at least we know where it's leaking from now. But annoyingly, I can't quite get to it. It looks like kind of black mould. You can see I can nearly get to it. I can get the wire on it, but it's not actually scraping off. So the black mould's going to have to stay, unfortunately. Right, let's clean up this motor. So I get the wonderful isopropyl alcohol out and I just give everything a nice good clean, and rust is flying off here. I'm not too bothered about cleaning the casing off the motor. I'm happy to leave that rusty. It's just the moving parts that I want clean. So I get my grinding pen out and I just gently do the shaft of the motor, but I only want to do it very, very lightly on there because I don't really want to grind away any of the metal from that. And then I work on the bearing. So basically the most important thing here is the bearing. And then I have a look up the item code of the motor because clearly we need a new motor, so let's see if they are available. Wow, that looks very expensive. £29.43 from Amazon for 2 of them. What? Barber toy hairdryer parts. 2.4 volts to 6 volts. 3.7, is that the one we'd need here? What's this one here? 3.6. FF280. I don't even know if that looks identical or not. Yeah, got 3 holes here. That might be the one. So it's ridiculously expensive, so it really is not worth buying a new motor. 2 of them for £30. I don't need 2, I only need 1. £15. You can buy this new for £22, £23. So no, it's not worth it. I also have a look on AliExpress, and amazingly, I don't think I've ever not found something on AliExpress. I can't find these motors on AliExpress. I'm typing in the item number. Maybe they're better known under some other item number. They must be an off-the-shelf part. Clearly they do exist. But yeah, when you put that item number in, you can check yourself. Nothing comes up on AliExpress. Well, it didn't when I looked anyway. So the bearing now is moving on the motor shaft lovely and easy. But we need to try to press the bearing back into the actual casing of the motor. Otherwise, it's just going to come straight out again. So I have a brainwave. Why don't I try to spot weld it back in? Why not? Let's give it a go. So I know with welding that it has to be super clean. You're not going to be able to weld onto rust. So I'm getting my grinding pen and I'm just going over the bearing and the motor casing, not the bits that I don't care about, just where the bearing's meeting the motor casing. I want that all to be very, very, very clean. And then we're going to spot weld it up. That will hopefully keep the motor in place because I can't press it back into place. I've squeezed it round with my pliers. I've tapped it down with the pliers and I've squeezed it round, but it's still not really going to hold properly. I think it needs to be spot welded in. Oh, I don't believe it. I wasn't recording when I was doing my spot welding. So I'll just do a couple more just purely for the camera. So I've got it on 20T. It gives out one hell of a spark. But what I'm doing is I'm closing my eyes so I don't burn them. You ready? I've only ever seen it once because the rest of the time I've had my eyes closed, but I've just been going around the edge on numerous different, you know, like 5 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 15, 20, 25, etc. Whoa! Even when I open my eyes there, I can still see sparks flying around. Love that. Okay, let's zoom in and see what it looks like. Right, so I've gone right around the edge there. Let's give it a clean with IPA. Well, I can definitely see bits of burnt metal, so I presume it must have done a little bit of welding to each other. Clearly it needs a new motor, but if they don't exist, I mean they do exist, I just don't know what they're called. But if they're going to be up on like £15 each, then it's really not worth it. Because in some of the Amazon reviews, some people said they managed to get it for £20, I think it was. Right, I definitely think that has welded a little bit. I mean, look at that one there. It must have made a bit of a difference. So let's put this back together. We'll add some 3-in-1 oil to it, and we'll see if it's going to work. I'm not sure about which way. Does it matter? It doesn't matter which way it goes on, does it? Oh, hold on. Or would it be turning back to front? Does it matter which way? I'm going to have to watch back the video because I don't know if it went on this way or this. Thing is, does it? Wait a minute. It doesn't make a difference, does it? Because that way? No, surely it does make a difference because normally when you swap the polarity, it goes around the other way. Because we're gonna, it's the magnets is going to be north and south. Let me watch back the video. And also let me know in the comments, does it make a difference which way this goes around? I think it does because of the magnetic field. Right, it's definitely this way around here. So the, let's work this out. So the black is going to be where the DC is written, yeah? So now we just have to put it all back together, which was the same as taking it apart, but in reverse.
Vitamins and history books, psychology and a different way to look at it all. 'Cause my perspective is broken. If suffering's a way to earn your keep, I better start putting miles on my feet. but I'm so tired of wandering.
Now, I've been thinking about a way to make it waterproof, or more waterproof, and I was thinking about Vaseline. So I Googled, can you use Vaseline on electronics, and it appears you can. So I was wondering about smearing the top with Vaseline. Vaseline petroleum-based ingredients can help protect electronic connections from moisture and corrosion. I haven't got any dielectric grease or anything like that. You know, silicone grease. Tell you what, shall we see if this is going to work now? Let's have a go. Yes! Doesn't sound too bad. But clearly it's got fresh grease in there now. Fresh oil. Excellent, it's not cutting out either. Do you know, that's not as bad as I thought it would be. But as soon as that 3-in-1 oil wears out, then I presume it's just going to get noisier and noisier. Right, I'm going to get some Vaseline and I'm going to pack it around here. And then, and also maybe even a bit down here. And just encase it in Vaseline, because I think that will help keep out the water for a little while.
Yeah, I'm lost, but I'm living. Yeah, I'm lost. Can I be forgiven? Thought by now pain would be my friend. I know that discomfort was a means to an end, but I'm lying in a warm bed. No, I'm but I'm living. No, I'm lost. Can I be forgiven?
So if water does leak down there, it'd be more likely, I think, to travel along here and go through these holes rather than down into the motor. Okay, well, I'm putting the screws in. Amazingly, somehow, I think it is actually sucking. So let's get some screws back in. It's a Christmas miracle. The grinding pen and the spot welding appears to have worked, but I think, just like that other Honeywell fan that I did, once the 3-in-1 oil starts drying up, I think then it will get noisier and noisier, and that must impact performance because there's going to be a lot more friction. Anyway, when I'm putting the screws back in here, I just want to show you the fan from the other day with the little neon light. And a quick update on this little fan heater here. A few of you mentioned about the light here. I kept calling it an LED, and then I think I flashed up on the screen that it was incandescent. I've been told it's a neon. I think neon might still be incandescent, but I need to Google that to double check. And yeah, fair enough, it wasn't working. I didn't notice that at all. I thought maybe it dropped back into here. Yet when I looked through here, I couldn't see any light when it was on, because I've had this actually running today, warming up the room that I edit in and work in. And yeah, when I looked at it now, because of all the messing that I did, I actually broke one of the wires that goes to a resistor. So this is a 150k resistor in line with it. And now if you have a look, when I turn it on, boom, we have a light again. So yeah, I'm happy with this little fan. It pumps out a nice little bit of heat, but not from a huge distance, not like the Glen heater that I had when I was a child, but it's still very nice from about a metre away, very nice. Well, clearly there's a bit of suction there, so what I'll do is I'll spray some water on the windows in the morning. It might even be raining, and then I'll see if we can suck any of it up.
1 sleep later.
Right, testing time. So I've got a pan of water here. I'm just going to slop some around this window to mimic either rain or someone that's just cleaned it. Basically, you would be able to use it horizontally. You just got to make sure that it's empty. Right, here we go. Wow, that's perfect. You can't see any of this, can you? Let's see if you can see. Can you see any water droplets there? Let's just do this bit. And I can already see it's starting to collect with water down here. So let me just do the rest and I'll show you the water that's been gathered. Well, not that I've used much of them, but I've definitely fixed up a Akasha before, and as far as I'm concerned that works just as well. Obviously not horizontally and stuff, but if you look at the water that's been gathered, ready, it's going to all come out now. There you go. So that clearly shows that it's working. Excellent. Well, there we go. I don't know about you, but that performed a lot better than I thought it would. I'll be honest, when I started on this product, I thought it was just going to be landfill. And by the end, I actually quite like it. And I think it is worth every penny off. I've just checked on Amazon. It's £22.90, I think it was, next day delivery. So it's not bad at all. But that was until I looked at the price of Akasha. I thought the Akasha version was up on £80, but the prices have either got it wrong or they've come down a lot recently. You can get them now for £40. So if it was me, I'd rather get the Akasha one for £40 because they're the original one and they're going to be better made, and I think you probably can use them horizontally or they'll have a bigger fill. But if you're on a budget, and as long as you read the instructions and don't use this horizontally when it's full, then I can't see why, if you use this properly, why you'd have that much problem with it. All the problems are clearly because they're going over this fill line. So maybe the manufacturers just need to paint a big line saying max, because you can barely see that line there. I mean, that's what I would do if I run this company. But I don't run it, do I? So I'm just a guy that's attempted to fix one of their products. I kind of like it because it's just better than I thought it was. Is it a fix? Yeah, clearly it's working now. It wasn't working before. Is it going to keep on working? I don't think so. You need a new motor. Clearly, if you put a new motor in, I think this would be as good as new. And maybe there is a market for those motors. But again, I'm not sure how many people would be trying to fix a product when you can buy them for just over 20 UK pounds. Probably not many. But if yours is making that weird noise, chances are you've got a C's motor just like this one here. So yeah, I think given the circumstances, I'm actually quite happy with that fix. And I quite like the spot welding and I quite like the Vaseline. But you put down in the comment section what you would have done to this, because then other people can read it and they might have a lot better idea then of how to fix their one. If you enjoyed this one, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, think about subscribing. It would be lovely to get to 1 million subscribers. Fingers crossed, I'll be back again tomorrow. I'm nearly there. I'm nearly halfway through this challenge. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you soon.